Hello, 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 and welcome. Adjust microphone. Welcome to episode 305 of Prog Review. And today, if you ever read the title description, I'm talking about Heaven and Hell by Vangelis. Vangelis. This was gifted, this one. This was reissued last year on the Esoteric label. The album originally was released in December 1975. It's classed as progressive rock, though I don't know. I think I see it more being more classical, more classical. Yeah, more classical. Very hard to talk about this record. Very hard. Very hard to talk about because it's instrumental, largely instrumental, apart from a little bit at the end. But we'll come to that. We're going to come to that bit. Now, I've been inadvertently listening to this, movement 3 of Heaven and Hell Part 1. I've been listening to that for many years. It's been drip fed into my mind. So my subconscious brain, because it appeared on this TV show, Cosmos, one of my favourite programmes of all time. With look, Mr. Carl Sagan there. In fact, that track appears on this soundtrack album. Pound eBay. So my introduction to like one of the main parts of this was via Cosmos. So that very haunting piano piece, and it's kind of ingrained. It's kind of ingrained within me, and it's a highlight of this record for me. Again, Vangelis' music appears quite a lot on Cosmos. So I think there's a track called Pulsar and some other one, from his later albums that appear. That was a good thing about TV in the late 70s, early 80s. You get a lot of progressive rock music buried in there. True. Platinum by Mike Oldfield was the theme tune to a children's quiz show that I used to watch. It happens. And of course Mike Oldfield did the Blue Peter TV theme. But I'm not talking about Mike Oldfield, I'm talking about Vangelis. Is it a concept album? I suppose it is. I suppose one side's meant to represent heaven, and the other side is meant to represent hell. Again, it's for me. It feels more like a classical album. It's only when you get to the B side that you get like traditional drums coming. There is some percussion on it, but it's a very nebulous album. It's almost like Vangelis was writing a soundtrack before he became synonymous with soundtracks. Bits jump out of you. Like I say, Movement 3 from Cosmos, it jumps out of you. Some of it, is a bit more, how can I say, vapid. That's probably not a nice word to say, but some of it is a little bit more forgetful. There's not these great themes that are developed. It's bits of music glued together. And some editions of the record, you do actually have, even though it's like I'm not being very articulate today. Even though it's Heaven and Hell Part 1 and Part 2 on the two sides, they were subdivided. Part 1 starts with Bacchanal, Symphony to the Powers B, Movements 1 and 2. Email. Movement 3, that's the one from Cosmos, and So Long Ago, So Clear. Now, the interesting thing about So Long Ago, So Clear is it is a song. It's a song, and it features with words, proper song-like, and it features the vocal talents of a certain Mr. Accrington Stanley, yes, John Anderson, the little fella from Yes. Yeah, that's true. He sings, and so began his association with Vangelis. They went off, what was the I know one of them's called John and one of them's called Vangelis, but I can't remember what they called themselves. I think it was Anderson or something, wasn't it? But anyway, John Vangelis. I'm being silly, but that's where their creative union began with this record. I find it really difficult to. I mean, I've known this album for years, but it's one of those records that it does kind of just slide over you. It does. It just kind of slides. It's not like you can turn around and go, well, I like that bit, or I like this bit. You've got to kind of listen to the whole thing, and it's all right. It's okay. It's not. I don't think it's. I think Vangelis is good at doing. Is really good at doing themes, short themes. Like I say, Movement 3 is particularly memorable, and of course the track with Anderson. But some of it is, like I say, it is a bit, it's a little bit, I'm not doing a very good job of this, am I? I'm doing an appalling job. I mean, I like the album, but it is a bit dull. It is a bit dull, isn't it? You'd agree with me, It's not particularly dynamic. You will give me that, won't you? Again, I think that's because of its classical the classical feel to it. But again, even classical music, you have like an overture and things resolve itself. I don't really get the sense of any kind of resolution with this record. I get the feeling that bits of music have kind of been forced to exist, side by side rather loosely. You don't, there is no great resolution from it, and you don't hear themes coming back. I mean, I know he uses the glissando. That's not really a theme. That's just more like in this instance, is more used as an effect. But I like the record. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot going on with it. I'm sure some of you will disagree. I'm sure some of you say there's loads going on. But to my ears, I just don't feel that it's particularly technical. It's it's almost, I'd say it's almost pedestrian in a way. But I like it. That's why I don't understand why it's got the prog rock label. I think maybe it's got that because of the association with John Anderson, and but I think it's very. Again, I'm being unfair on it because you've got to remember it's a product of its time. He is using electronic music, with the synthesizers, and he's got this kind of choral voice thing going on as well, which is kind of unusual. It's not. I don't think that was never really been tapped into. So that was new. I mean, again, it's like listening to Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen out of context. If you listen to that and now you go, regular ears would probably just think of it as, but you got to put it into a context of time. And with Oxygen, email, he was using solely synthesizers in a kind of a pop music, instrumental pop music kind of basis. And same can be said with this. Vangelis is playing with the instrumentation. He's trying to do something a bit different. But again, I think it does veer into that new age, noodly kind of area. Do you think that's okay? I feel really bad about this review. Do you ever get that when you do? You think, I should be waxing more lyric. I should be talking more. Again, also, I don't really think it really does relate anything to Heaven and Hell. I mean, the Hell part isn't particularly dark and moody and brooding. It doesn't conjure up images of devils with pitchforks, and neither does the Heaven part make you think of angels with harps sitting on clouds. Yeah, it's nice music. It's very pleasant, but I don't. if I put it on, if you blind tested me and said what's the name of this album, I wouldn't necessarily call it Heaven and Hell. So I think again the concept kind of lets it down, if there is a concept. I feel like I'm being a right rotter. I feel like I'm being too critical. The vinyl sounds really nice, by the way. Yeah, I think I've got my version's an old MP3. I don't know where I got it from. Must have bought it from somewhere. MP3 store, back in the day. You forget that now, don't you? It's been like 10 years, or 14 years since you could buy stuff online. But no, I didn't own the CD of this. I got it from, I think there was an offer on. I got the MP3 version. Darren, you're supposed to be an audiophile. Oh, I know. But anyway, in terms of a rating, I'm going to give it 3.5 intestinal bats out of 5. It's 3.5 intestinal bats out of 5. It's not a perfect album. However, I think we should all listen to it. I think we all must listen to this, for it shows, where Vangelis came from. And just imagine if he had have been allowed to join Yes. What an amazing thought that would have been. But yeah, he's a very talented guy. But I don't think this is his best record. But then I've got to sample some more. I've only ever listened to his best of albums. The ones with Chariots of Fire on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good, and the repressing's nice. So you can see him whizzing around. That's what he was like. I don't know if you can see that picture. That was what he was like at his rehearsal when he went to audition for Yes. He was like that, like a whirlwind. I play drums now. I play bass. What's the matter? You don't want to play guitar? That sounds like something from the League of Gentlemen, doesn't it? Anyway, I've having a brain fart again. It's my age. I'm getting old. So anyway, my name's been Darren Locke, and I've been talking about Heaven and Hell by Vangelis, Van the man himself. Let's see. Hell, heaven. Oh, ow! Heaven! He's got me back now. Did you see that? He got me back. See? Heaven, hell. Heaven, hell. Heaven, hell. Heaven, hell. Do that for ages. So yeah, I think we should all listen to it. I think it's an important record, but I don't think it's a particularly strong record. I think it's a little bit weak and forgetful in places. You can stop throwing your shoes at the screen now. You know what I'm like. I have to be honest. Email very very popular today. With that, I'm gonna wind it up. My name's been Darren Locke. Thank you for tuning in. Only one more thing to say. Yeah, I don't even want to do it anymore. What? You want me to do it? Oh, no, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with doing it. I feel we should do something new. You really want to do it, don't you? Yeah. Go on. If you all ask me at once, on the count of 3, I'll do it. Ready? Go on. You ask me. Ready? Oh, all right then. Just for you. Prog on.